Hey there, dissectors, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. Said to be the original Grand Hotel, the stunning Langham Hotel in London has seen many historic people pass through its doors, from Oscar Wilde to Princess Diana. But this hotel is also believed by many to be the most haunted hotel in London. From the spirit of a man who plays out his sad final moments over and over again, to the infamous hotel room 333 that hides a dark secret and where spirits love nothing more than to torment the living. So let's explore the history and hauntings of this wonderful property, and maybe along the way we'll find out why this world famous hotel is as haunted as people think. The Langham Hotel took 2 years to build, opening its doors with a grand ceremony on June 10th, 1865, with much of London's high society being in attendance for this, including the Prince of Wales. Now, this was no ordinary hotel for the era, but one that boasted luxury and glamour. It had air conditioning, hydraulic lifts and electric lights, things that nowadays we take for granted. All of these indulgences made the hotel popular with the rich and powerful. One of these people was Louis Napoleon III, who was exiled to England from France. He spent the remainder of his life exploring ways to gain his power back while studying technical and social issues. He sadly died on January 9th, 1873 after undergoing surgery for bladder stones. Since his death, his spirit has been seen many times at the Langham Hotel, probably due to all the personal strife he was experiencing during his time at the hotel shortly before his death. Napoleon's ghost has been seen in the basement area of the property that he sought refuge in, with many saying that you can feel his presence down there lingering in the darkness. Then in 1879, Charles Dickens wrote about the Langham, stating that he'd enjoyed the most expensive hotel meal in London, a breakfast of coffee and cold meat, and for dinner, soup and meat. But Dickens also said that if you need to cater for large dinner parties, there is nowhere else to go. It is also believed that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle used the hotel for inspiration for settings for his world-famous fictional character, Sherlock Holmes. But sadly, not all the history attached to the property is glamorous. During World War II, the hotel was used as a local first aid and military post. Unfortunately, most of the hotel's west wing was destroyed after air attacks. There is a spirit that haunts the hotel who many believe is a World War II soldier or possibly a German prince. His ghost is one of the most active at the Langham, as he relives his final moments on repeat. His spirit has been seen by staff and guests walking through walls, doorways and along corridors as he makes his way to the upper floor window that he jumped out of all those years before. There is always a reported drop in temperature at his sightings too. But then life took a more pleasant turn for the property when during the 1950s and 1960s, the BBC, also known as the British Broadcasting Corporation, purchased the Langham Hotel. They leased out portions of the property to be offices and other areas to be used as housing for employees and guests, while the BBC broadcast their radio show named Grand Hotel that offered soothing music from the Palm Court Orchestra. During the 1990s, before her sad death on August 31st, 1997, Princess Diana was a regular visitor to the hotel as she sought refuge from the chaos of her life at that time. So that gives you an idea of the comings and goings through the years, and not all of them were smooth. Maybe some of the dark history is what brought about the disturbing events that take place in room 333. This room has a legend attached to it, one that involves murder. It is said that a Victorian doctor with grey hair married a much younger woman. They decided to celebrate their new life by spending their wedding night at the Langham Hotel. But something happened that night, one that went from a loved up couple to the doctor killing his new wife and then ending his own life. But the horrors attached to room 333 doesn't end there. In 1973, newscaster James Alexander Gordon was awoken by something in his room. As his eyes adjusted to the gloom, he saw a ball of light appear and gradually turn into the figure of a man in Victorian era clothing. Well, almost. He was missing his calves and feet. Shocked, Gordon asked the entity what it wanted and was horrified when the ghost started to approach him. The spirit's arms were reaching out in front of it while its face seemed emotionless with dark, hollow eyes. He ran from the room, entering the guest room of a co-worker, and begged his colleague to come to his room and see the spirit. As they entered Gordon's room, they both saw the spirit still standing there, but fading gradually until it was gone. Could this be the spirit of the doctor who died in this room? What do you think? Fellow YouTubers Sam and Colby have also stayed at the Langham Hotel. They reported hearing strange noises and movement on the bed, but what apparently upset them the most was when they are said to have received a phone call at 3:33 a.m. Yes, the same number as the room, and no one living was on the line. The bed in this room is said to shake violently, with one woman in May 2003 suddenly checking out of the room due to being unable to sleep. She later sent a letter to the hotel explaining her actions. Numerous times throughout the night, she would be awoken by the bed shaking. When England's cricket team stayed at the Langham Hotel in recent years, many of the team were having trouble getting to sleep at night, with many of their wives refusing to even try. England bowler Stuart Broad had this to say: "It was so hot in the room I just couldn't sleep. All of a sudden, the taps in the bathroom came on for no reason. I turned the lights on and the taps turned themselves off. Then when I turned the lights off again, the taps came on. It was very weird. It really freaked me out. I ended up asking to move rooms." Ben Stokes had some problems sleeping as well. He's on the 3rd floor, which is where a lot of the issues are. I'm telling you, something weird is going on. There are many reports spanning decades from visitors claiming to have experienced the paranormal, from Mark Twain to Winston Churchill and Princess Diana. Sadly, there is no real proof that these claims are true though. Other strange experiences include a butler wandering the corridors as if tending to his duties, as well as a man seen with a terrible gash to his forehead. How did he get the wound? Well, nobody seems to know. The Langham Hotel really does sound like a truly haunted property, and one that, even with all the unexplainable events taking place, still manages to attract people from all over the world for its beauty and glamour. I feel that this would be a wonderful place to visit, and maybe next time I travel to the UK may well be on my list of places to see. Have you visited the Langham Hotel? And if so, did you experience anything paranormal? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The story of the doctor who ended the life of his new wife and then took his own on their wedding night is a really sad tale. I wonder what was going through his head that night. Had he planned to end their lives all along, or did something come about while they were staying at the Langham? I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please consider dropping a like, sharing your thoughts on the episode, or even subscribing to my channel so that you don't miss out on more haunted locations. Until next time, my friends, stay safe out there.